यही मिले तेरे को जिंदगी में, तू ढूंढ रहा।
एक बंदा को दिखता है अगर, और मेरे को फील होती है जो मेरे को कभी किसी के साथ फील नहीं हुई।
For over a decade, fans of TLC's hit reality franchise 90 Day Fiancé have watched the sprawling, chaotic, and seemingly enduring love story of Jenny Slaton and Sumit Singh. It was a narrative packaged as the ultimate triumph of love over insurmountable odds. A 60-something American woman from Palm Springs, California, and a 30-something Indian man from New Delhi, battling cultural stigmas, deeply disapproving parents, and geographic boundaries just to be together. We watched Jenny uproot her life, cash out her retirement funds, and move to a foreign country. We watched Sumit defy his traditional family, navigating intense screaming matches and tearful ultimatums. But according to a massive wave of recent whistleblower leaks, leaked audio recordings, and viral investigative reports, the entire romance may have been a masterfully orchestrated, decade-long financial crime. Today, the 90 Day Fiancé community is reeling from explosive allegations that Sumit Singh and his father, Anil Singh, are the subjects of a joint investigation by the FBI, the U.S. State Department, and Indian authorities. The claims suggest that the Singh family didn't just disapprove of Jenny, they allegedly managed her as a corporate asset. With rumors of secret Jenny ledgers, wire fraud, money laundering, and potential prison sentences of 10 to 20 years, the fairy tale has abruptly transformed into a true crime nightmare. Here is the complete, comprehensive breakdown of the Jenny scam, the alleged FBI proof, the secret audio, and how a beloved reality TV romance allegedly devolved into one of the most elaborate cases of international elder financial abuse ever caught on camera. The foundation of deception, the ghost of Michael Jones. To understand the magnitude of the alleged fraud, one must look back to the very genesis of Jenny and Sumit's relationship in 2012. Long before the TLC camera crews arrived, the relationship began with a crime of identity, catfishing. Sumit, then a 25-year-old worker at an international call center in Delhi, reached out to Jenny, then 55, on Facebook. He did not introduce himself as Sumit. Instead, he used the moniker and stolen photos of Michael Jones, an allegedly handsome, rugged Englishman. For a year, Sumit romanced Jenny under this false identity. On the show, this was portrayed as a youthful, insecure mistake. Sumit supposedly fell so deeply in love with Jenny that he eventually confessed his true identity, and Jenny, charmed by his genuine affection, forgave him. It was framed as an unconventional but endearing meet-cute. However, according to recent leaks from a whistleblower named Anjali, a former bookkeeper for the Singh family's business, the Michael Jones persona was not a mistake born of insecurity. It was allegedly a highly polished, strategically crafted alias designed in the call center environment to extract funds from vulnerable, older Western women. Whistleblower accounts suggest that Sumit's father, Anil Singh, may have been aware of or even helped train Sumit in these tactics. The Michael Jones persona was allegedly tested in live conversations with multiple women to see which demographic yielded the highest emotional and financial return. Jenny, a divorcee with a steady income, a house in Palm Springs, and an approaching pension, became the ultimate target. The initial catfishing wasn't a blunder. According to the viral reports, it was the first phase of a long-term acquisition strategy. The whistleblower and the Jenny ledger. For years, viewers questioned how Sumit and Jenny afforded their lives in India. Sumit sporadically worked, but Jenny appeared to be the primary financial engine of the household, slowly draining her American savings to fund their rent, visas, and legal fees. The dark truth of this financial dynamic allegedly came to light through a woman referred to as Anjali. According to viral deep-dive investigations, Anjali was a meticulously trusted bookkeeper for the Singh family's export business. Her family had served the Singhs for 2 generations. But as she managed the books, she allegedly began noticing alarming irregularities, unexplained expenses, massive transfers to shell corporations, and phantom accounts. Then, she reportedly discovered something that shook her to her core: a private digital file kept by Anil Singh, carelessly left open on a computer. It was reportedly titled the Jenny Ledger. This was not a file of familial grievances. It was a cold, calculated financial spreadsheet. The ledger allegedly contained an accounting of every single dollar Jenny Slaton had ever wired to India. More disturbingly, it did not categorize these transfers as gifts or loans for his son. Instead, they were reportedly labeled as initial investment tranches. According to Anjali's leaked claims, the ledger went far beyond what Jenny had already paid. It allegedly contained future projections of Jenny's U.S. Social Security payouts, calculated down to the exact dollar based on her age and American work history. It contained analyses of her assets, including the equity in her Palm Springs property. The whistleblower alleges that the Singh family was not viewing Jenny as a daughter-in-law. They were viewing her as a corporate acquisition, a reverse mortgage on a human being. The goal was allegedly to systematically drain her lifelong nest egg, convert it into Indian rupees, and funnel it into a complex web of family-controlled shell companies. When Anjali allegedly discovered that Anil Singh was using her forged digital signature to authorize these transfers, she confronted him days later. She was reportedly fired, given hush money, and threatened. But her fear of being implicated in international fraud eventually pushed her to leak the documents to authorities. The secret audio, an investment, not a wife. If the financial ledgers weren't damning enough, the whistleblower allegedly provided something even more explosive, a secret 23-minute audio recording. In October 2018, growing suspicious of the family's actions, Anjali reportedly left a small digital recorder running in her purse during a late-night family meeting regarding the business's year-end taxes. Believing they were alone after dismissing her, the Singh family allegedly began to speak freely. In the audio, which has become the cornerstone of the alleged FBI and State Department investigation, Anil Singh does not sound like the weeping, traditional father portrayed on reality TV. Instead, he allegedly sounds like a ruthless syndicate boss berating his sons for operational sloppiness. According to transcripts circulating in the investigative community, Anil is heard reprimanding Sumit's brother, Amit, for using the wrong routing number for an international transfer. More shockingly, he allegedly scolds Sumit for being too emotionally effusive. In his emails to Jenny, he warns Sumit that using phrases like "our money" might arouse Jenny's suspicions, reminding his son to frame every financial request purely around his immediate needs. It is in this tape that Anil allegedly drops the ultimate mask, explicitly referring to Jenny not as a person, but as the American retirement plan and an investment, not a wife. He allegedly lays out the entire philosophy of the con: isolate the target, leverage the cultural differences to create artificial drama, and extract the maximum amount of foreign currency before the target either passes away or runs out of funds. The first marriage as a manufactured weapon. One of the most dramatic storylines in 90-Day Fiancé history occurred when Jenny, living in India, was suddenly ambushed by Sumit's family and informed that Sumit was already married. Jenny was devastated, viewers were outraged, and Sumit played the role of the tragic, helpless victim forced into an arranged marriage against his will. However, the new whistleblower leaks suggest that this secret marriage was not an obstacle to the scam, it was a crucial mechanism of it. According to an alleged sworn statement by Sumit's brother, Amit, the arranged marriage was orchestrated by Anil to secure political connections and local influence for the family, but it served a brilliant dual purpose in the Jenny scam. First, it provided the perfect, plausible excuse for why Sumit could not legally marry Jenny for years. This kept Jenny in a perpetual state of legal and financial vulnerability. Because she could not get a spousal visa, she was entirely dependent on temporary tourist visas, forcing her to rely heavily on Sumit's family to navigate the complex Indian immigration system. Second, the crisis of the secret marriage became a highly profitable extortion tool. Anjali claims that the moment Jenny discovered the truth and threatened to leave, a massive wave of money transfers began. Sumit allegedly guilted Jenny into paying for legal fees, support during his separation, and emergency rent for hidden apartments. In the secret ledger, the explosion of the secret marriage was allegedly recorded as one of the most profitable quarters in the history of the scam. Sumit was reportedly forced to pay $20,000 in a divorce settlement to his ex-wife, a sum that rumors suggest was largely funded by Jenny's drained savings. In reality, the entire us against the world narrative was a meticulously crafted script to keep Jenny opening her checkbook. He stole everything, the destruction of Jenny's finances. As the years rolled on, viewers watched Jenny age, her stress visible as she sacrificed everything to be with the man she loved. She moved to India permanently in 2019, an act portrayed on television as the ultimate romantic leap of faith. But financially, it was a death sentence. Jenny cashed in her 401k, draining a nest egg that took her a lifetime of work in America to build. She left behind the security of her Palm Springs life. According to civil suits and unverified legal claims now surfacing, the financial extraction was systematic. It is alleged that Jenny was coerced into signing contracts she couldn't read, transferring her assets into paper-only firms, shell companies, created by the Singh family. There are reports of forged signatures and unauthorized loans. When Jenny eventually began to notice that the math wasn't adding up, she supposedly requested financial documents. The reports allege that she was presented with documents bearing her signature in handwriting that was clearly not hers, on formats that didn't even exist at the time she supposedly signed them. The phrase, "he stole everything," has begun trending across reality TV forums as fans realize the horrifying implications. Jenny wasn't just paying for dinner or helping out a younger boyfriend. She was allegedly the victim of a coordinated corporate raid on her life savings. By the time they finally married, a marriage that only took place after years of stalling, the Singhs had allegedly restructured her remaining assets so that everything she owned was directly tied to their family too. Enter the FBI, wire fraud, and 20 years in prison. What takes this story from a messy reality TV breakup to a massive international news event is the alleged involvement of federal authorities. The evidence gathered by Anjali, the ledgers, the shell company documents, and the audio recording was reportedly explosive enough to trigger a joint investigation by Indian financial authorities and the United States State Department, potentially involving the FBI. Because Jenny is an American citizen, and the funds were allegedly extracted from U.S. banking institutions under false pretenses, the crimes cross international borders. The core charges allegedly being investigated include 1. Wire fraud. Under U.S. federal law, every single time Jenny was induced by a lie, a false promise, or emotional manipulation to wire money from her American bank to one of the Singh family's Indian shell companies, a federal crime was committed. Wire fraud is prosecuted aggressively, and each individual transfer counts as a separate offense. The maximum penalty for a single count of wire fraud can be up to 20 years in federal prison. 2. Money laundering. The use of Anil Singh's export business and the complex web of LLCs to disguise the origin and destination of Jenny's money is a textbook definition of money laundering. By filtering her American retirement funds through foreign businesses to make them look like legitimate corporate investments, the Singh family allegedly committed severe financial crimes in both India and the U.S. 3. Elder financial abuse. A growing legal framework in the United States seeks to protect senior citizens from targeted financial scams. As highlighted by former fraud investigators analyzing 90-Day Fiancé cast members, scammers routinely target the elderly, knowing they have access to pensions, Social Security, and home equity. Because Jenny was over 60 during much of the extraction phase, the penalties and federal interest in the case are magnified exponentially. If the FBI and State Department push for extradition or freeze the Singh family's international assets, Sumit and Anil Singh could be facing a minimum of 10 to 20 years behind bars. A web of arrests, food adulteration, debt, and surrogacy fraud. As the financial fraud walls allegedly close in on the Singh family, a chaotic series of secondary rumors and reports have emerged regarding Sumit's legal troubles in India. The sheer volume of these scandals paints a picture of a man whose entire life is unraveling. The restaurant raid. In late 2025/early 2026, reports surfaced that a small restaurant managed by Sumit in New Delhi was subjected to a sudden police raid following a secret investigation by the Indian Food Authority. The kitchen was reportedly found to be unsanitary and the food unsafe to eat. Sumit was allegedly detained in public, fined 50,000 Indian rupees, and publicly humiliated. While a relatively minor legal infraction compared to wire fraud, the arrest destroyed his local reputation. Fans darky joked online, "First he lied to Jenny, now he lies to his diners." The $300,000 debt and Tihar jail rumors. Simultaneously, leaks emerged claiming Sumit was living a double life filled with affairs and massive financial recklessness. Sources alleged he lost heavily in the stock market, racking up a staggering $300,000 in debt when creditors came calling, lawsuits were filed, and a judge allegedly ruled that his actions showed an intentional disregard for the law, sentencing him to 7 months in Tihar jail, one of India's most notorious prisons. According to these unverified rumors, Jenny stood silently in the courthouse as he was handcuffed and taken away, realizing that the man she trusted to manage her remaining finances had squandered them. The surrogacy setup. Perhaps the most chilling secondary rumor involves an alleged surrogacy fraud. Reports claim that Sumit convinced a desperate Jenny to sign documents in Hindi under the guise of exploring surrogacy to appease his family's desire for an heir. In reality, he was allegedly setting her up as the legal fall guy for an illegal or unregulated surrogacy clinic. When police investigated the clinic, Jenny, a foreign national with no translator, was reportedly dragged into a police station and interrogated as a suspect, completely unaware of what she had signed. While some of these specific incidents, the jail time, the surrogacy raid, are heavily debated within the 90-Day Fiancé community, with many attributing them to exaggerated reality TV gossip channels, they all point to a consistent, underlying theme. Sumit Singh allegedly utilizes Jenny Slaton as a human shield for his own illicit activities. The psychological toll and reality TV's complicity. If these FBI investigations and whistleblower allegations are proven true in a court of law, it will force a massive reckoning not just for the Singh family, but for TLC and the reality television industry as a whole. For years, the network broadcasted this relationship as entertainment. The screaming matches, the tears, the financial struggles, and the secret wives were packaged with dramatic background music and commercial breaks. But if Anjali's ledger and the secret audio tapes are real, the network was unwittingly broadcasting a real-time, 10-year-long financial crime. It raises disturbing ethical questions. Did the presence of the cameras embolden the Singh family? Did the paycheck from TLC provide just enough of a lifeline to keep Jenny trapped in India, unable to afford a ticket home without the show's stipend? How much did the producers know about the shell companies and the draining of Jenny's 401k? Jenny Slaton is now reportedly pursuing civil litigation against Sumit for over $100,000, citing fraudulent inducement stemming all the way back to the initial Michael Jones catfish. But civil litigation in international courts is notoriously slow and difficult. Her accounts are allegedly frozen, her retirement is gone, and she is left isolated in a foreign country where she does not speak the language fluently. The end of the fairy tale. The story of Jenny Slaton and Sumit Singh was supposed to be a testament to the power of love. Viewers rooted for the quirky American woman who risked it all for the younger Indian man who promised her the world. We wanted to believe that the cultural barriers could be broken by genuine affection. Instead, we are left staring at the alleged wreckage of a masterfully executed con. From the calculated creation of Michael Jones in a Delhi call center, to the secret Jenny ledger logging her social security payouts as corporate assets, to the horrifying audio of a father calling a human being a reverse mortgage, the allegations against Sumit and Anil Singh represent one of the darkest chapters in reality television history. As the U.S. State Department and the FBI allegedly pore over the leaked documents, building a case for wire fraud and money laundering, the Singh family faces the very real possibility of 10 to 20 years in federal prison. Jenny Slaton, now in her late 60s, is left to pick up the pieces of a stolen life. The money is gone. The Palm Springs house is gone. The retirement is gone. But worse than the financial devastation is the psychological trauma of realizing that for 10 years, the family she fought so hard to be a part of was merely waiting for the check to clear. More than a decade after they first met online, Jenny and Sumit remain one of the most talked-about couples in the franchise. As of early 2026, the couple is still together and living in India after appearing in several seasons of 90-Day Fiancé the other way. Jenny Slaton's journey into one of reality television's most unusual love stories began in 2011, when she received a message on Facebook from someone claiming to be a man named Michael Jones. The profile described an attractive Western man working as a model. Jenny, who lived in California at the time, began chatting with him online. Their conversations soon became frequent and emotional. The person behind the account was actually Sumit Singh, a young man living in India. According to later interviews and episodes of the show, Sumit created the fake identity because he believed Jenny might not talk to him if she knew he was from India. For many people, such a deception would immediately end a relationship. But Jenny decided to forgive him and continue talking to him. Over time, their online conversations developed into a genuine romantic relationship. Jenny reportedly spent several months in India during her first visit. During that time, she spent time with Sumit and even met his family. In one of the most shocking scenes in the franchise, members of Sumit's wife's family confronted them at their apartment, revealing that he was already married. Jenny is back in the US, but her husband Sumit is not with her. Their relationship is still strained, especially with Sumit's family's disapproval. A Reddit user shared a picture of Jenny wearing a bracelet, confirming that she is visiting the US. Fans speculate if she will confront her co-star Kimberly. Jenny's relationship with Sumit could be in trouble, and his absence during her visit raises concerns. Their struggles might be explored in a future spin-off. 90 Day Fiancé. The Other Way star Jenny Slaton is back in the US, but her Indian husband, Sumit Singh, is nowhere to be seen. Jenny from Palm Springs, California, was introduced in Season 1 in 2019 when she moved to India to be with Sumit, who was 30 years younger than her. Jenny had met Sumit on Facebook when he tried to catfish her almost a decade ago. Jenny was lied to by Sumit. The 90-day couple moved in with Sumit's parents at the beginning of their latest season, as they could no longer afford their own apartment. They opened a cafe in hopes of making enough money to live on their own again. But after recent news broke that the cafe had seemingly closed, I wondered what was going on. It turns out they're going to live on their own again, though not how I expected. Jenny shared the details in an interview with Reality Recap. Jenny explained that Sumit's parents would be moving out of the home they invited the couple to live in and would now be living elsewhere. She didn't provide any more details than that, but seemed relieved that she'd finally get some more alone time in the Futurium, a bit shocked to hear that it's Sumit's parents who will be moving, since it was their home before the 90 Day Fiancé stars moved in. Of course, there's only limited context behind why they are moving and for what reason, so I'll reserve my judgment on that. Still, I do have to wonder how Jenny and Sumit will be able to afford rent on their own, assuming the cafe did close. The couple does bring in some money from appearing on 90 Day Fiancé and from sending videos to fans on Cameo. I'm not sure it's necessarily a ton of money, according to claims from past cast members, but given that the overall cost of living in India is lower than in the United States, they could be getting by with what they make from the TLC series. Jenny seemed to be in fine spirits, though I question if she and Sumit will be a part of 90 Day Fiancé spin-offs in the 2026 TV schedule. Fans have expressed concerns about her health after seeing recent interviews in which she spoke with slurred speech. Her daughter wouldn't confirm or deny any rumors about Jenny and what was going on, but confirmed they were addressing whatever is going on. Is there trouble in paradise for Jenny and Sumit? The 90 Day Fiancé fan favorite couple took another go at the franchise with 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, but could this be the end? Right before they appeared in Season 7 of the TLC series, they celebrated their 4th anniversary together. Despite the happiness that's shown on social media, Jenny did admit that it wasn't easy moving to India. "I'm still not used to it," she told people right before the premiere. "I want my independent life back." The pair live in Sumit's house, and Jenny says she doesn't want to sound ungrateful or anything, but her home life has been rattled up. "They have accepted me, and it's a big miracle in itself," she notes. "But if it was my decision, we'd be gone." The season showed Jenny's frustrations with her husband and his family ever since they opened the cafe and moved into her in-laws' house. "It's gotten easier and harder," the star told Swan. "It depends on how you look at it. Like living with the parents. For me, it's not easy. I'm not used to this. I'm used to my own place, my own things, not being told anything by anyone. So for me, it's a little challenging." In the tell-all preview, Jenny visibly threatened Sumit with an impending divorce, but was it truly the end for them? Jenny and Sumit are still very active on their joint Instagram account, posting photos together from the new year. Happy New Year to everyone. Wishing you all a wonderful year ahead. It's a request, please love everyone. And enjoy life, Sumit posted. In a shocking update, Jenny revealed that Sumit's family had moved out of their house in an interview with Reality Recap in December 2025. His parents are planning to move out, and we're staying there. "I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I want my privacy back." She also revealed that the tensions between her and Sumit's mom had eased. Whether it's a good sign that their marriage will last a little longer, time will tell. In Reality Nightcap's exclusive clip of Monday's episode, Jenny prepares food for her mother-in-law Sana, who is sick in bed and feeling dizzy. After Sana gives Jenny a nod of approval on the homemade meal, Jenny encourages her to relax and try not to let things bother her. While translating for his wife, Anil tells Jenny that disagreements in families are part of life, but after talking things out, everything is all right. Jenny proceeds to remind Sana and Anil that this is the first time in her life that she's lived with a partner's family, and the situation can be difficult at times. Because of this, Jenny explains, she and Sumit are planning to move out of Sana and Anil's home and back into their own apartment. We're both older women, so we're both set in our ways, Jenny tells Sana. Like, you're not gonna change, I'm also not gonna change too. So Sumit and I are gonna move back to our apartment where we were happy, we were free to do anything and nobody minded. After confirming with Anil that Jenny is saying she doesn't want to stay in their home, Sana makes it clear that she has no intention of allowing Jenny, a grown adult woman, to go anywhere. As fans of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way saw at the beginning of Season 7, Jenny and her 36-year-old husband Sumit moved in with Sana and Anil after living together on their own for many years. Back in September, at which point Jenny and Sumit had been living with Sana and Anil for 9 months, Jenny told people that she still wasn't used to living with her in-laws and was longing to get her independent life back. While Sumit admitted that he was also having a hard time adjusting to living with his parents, he acknowledged that Sana and Anil definitely wanted him and Jenny to stick around forever. They just never want to go out of our life because they get their son back in their life after 7 years, so that's why I don't have any timeline on when we'll move out, he told the outlet. While Jenny said at the time that she was grateful for the fact that Sumit's parents had finally accepted her, she made it clear that she was more than ready to resume living alone with her husband. Brought veteran couple Jenny and Sumit Singh back again for another season, and for once, their drama is a bit different. His family finally accepted their marriage, and they've even maintained peace in the short term, all while living under one roof. Jenny feared that the peace wouldn't last, and they needed to make some money and move out, but I'm not sure everyone was on the same page about their family cafe. The latest episode saw Sumit's new cafe hit a setback before its grand opening. Now, with a day of food preparation wasted and a plan to obtain a water source that isn't connected to the toilet, it's going to be a while before the new business turns a profit. Jenny was distraught because it moved the timeline for them to move out, but I'm not sure everyone is on the same page regarding the business plan. Jenny kept talking about the cafe's profits and how they need to make money as soon as possible so they can move out and get their own home again. First, I may not be a businessman, but I do know the general rule of thumb is that most businesses need a year or two of operation to break even on the initial investment, let alone turn a profit. Second, why would Jenny assume that she and Sumit will be taking enough profit to move out on their own? The cafe will be run by Sumit, his parents, his brother, his sister-in-law, and Jenny. That's profit split 6 ways, and of course, the money that remains after paying rent for the space and covering the cost of operation. And yet, she and Sumit both seem to work under the assumption they'll be pulling in all the money. I imagine it'll be a problem should the family realize they're essentially being used for free. I've written in the past that I can't stand Jenny and Sumit's storylines on 90 Day Fiancé, but I realized a new reason why. From the very start, Jenny has never wanted to really adhere to the societal norms of the country. She had to say something about the blessing involving cowpea, and now she's desperate to get back out on her own after being graciously offered a place to stay by his parents when they had, and Sumit Singh are one of several couples currently featured on 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way Season 7. This is Jenny and Sumit's 4th time on The Other Way. Their story began in Season 1, when Jenny moved to India for the first time to be with Sumit. After she discovered that Sumit had secretly been married, she moved back to America. However, she gave him a second chance, and they eventually married at the end of Season 3. Since their first appearance on The Other Way, Jenny and Sumit's relationship has come a long way. Jenny finally gained the approval of Sumit's family, which took years. Due to financial difficulties, Jenny and Sumit ended up moving in with his family and opening a cafe with them as well. While Jenny is happy to be closer with them, she has expressed that she wants to move out as soon as possible. Some viewers may be wondering where Jenny and Sumit's relationship stands after Season 7. While Season 7 was airing, Jenny came back to America and participated in several interviews. Fans were immediately concerned, as they noticed that Jenny was significantly slurring words and speaking slowly. Jenny's daughter Christina quickly took to social media to let fans know that she was on top of things and that she would provide updates whenever she could. Shortly after Christina's initial announcement, she revealed that Jenny was okay and heading back to India to be with Sumit. Fans were relieved, as they knew this meant that Jenny was all right. While it's not clear exactly what happened to Jenny, the important thing is that she is doing well now. Really dropped the ball a while back by not showing us Jenny and Sumit Singh finally reconciling with his parents, who previously disapproved of their relationship for several years. Fortunately, it seems the TLC series will get a chance to do it again, as it appears that the relationship may deteriorate by the time season 7 of The Other Way is at an end.